Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate now proceed to calendar number 270, the Shark Conservation Act, that the bill be read 3 times passed, the motion reconsidered be laid on the table, that any statements relating to this measure appear at the appropriate place in the record as if read.
Is there objection?
I object.
Objection is heard.
I'm simply amazed that when we're borrowing $4.2 billion a day from our grandkids, that's what we're borrowing, $4.2 billion a day. We're going to run a $1.4 trillion deficit, and we have unanimous consent requests to move to things that spend more money that we don't have, that we're going to borrow from the Chinese or the Russians to be able to pay for it, and we're going to spend the money overseas. There's no question that we should try to develop consensus in our body, but the first consensus we should have is the priorities of the problems that are facing this country. And the problems that are facing this country are so big and so massive that our attention ought to be focused on those large problems, not on 5 separate bills that have been proffered for special interest groups. I don't understand the motivations, but what I do understand is the American people get it even if we don't. And the fact that we're going to make attempts for political purposes to put bills that aren't paid for, that will add to the $4.2 billion a day that we borrow on the floor when our economy is languishing because we continue to grow the federal government, continue to build regulations that affect and diminish the desire for people with capital to invest it in our economy, and we force people out of this country to build their plants and manufacturing facilities because of our regulation and tax codes. I don't understand it. So my objections, I won't spend the time exactly outlining my objections to all these bills, but my overall objection is the priorities that we're setting in the Senate. We ought to be about creating confidence so people will invest in this country.